before. We had a car, and we bought it for like $1,500. It was a Nissan Altima blue car, and the side mirrors, the rear view mirrors outside, would fall off, and we would put a tape on it, and we would be like, it's a story I tell my daughter now to say that is what it is. But and then
Didn't come.
yeah, don't eat that cake. Okay, I won't eat that
That's
cake.
like
Aline.
Aline.
Yeah, put more weights on there, or like that. Like Lydia will go like, your form is not good. Put your butt down as you lift this, right?
Because you're already here. What are you going to do? You have to make the best of it. How do I learn the language? How do I get used to not
Driving.
to me? How I'll get used to not walking in the streets for everything. Like I literally walked 20 blocks to go to school. And it was not just private school, it was non-school. I was going to be a nun. That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
No, I cannot believe it. I cannot.
Y este programa es traído a ti gracias a Smotherman Law Firm. No ganan a menos que tú ganes. Son expertos en casos de inmigración y accidentes y están aquí para ayudarte. Arepas Street, sabor venezolano en el corazón de Louisville. Sol Vegas, experta en belleza, coach y comunicadora de alma. Una mujer que embellece por fuera y empodera por dentro. Clínica Hispana Sagrada Familia, tu clínica de confianza. Atención con amor en tu idioma para nuestra comunidad. Las opiniones expresadas por los invitados en Cuéntamelo Todo son responsabilidad exclusiva de quienes las emiten y no reflejan necesariamente la postura del canal o su creadora. Este espacio está diseñado para compartir historias, ideas y experiencia desde la autenticidad de cada invitado.
Buenas tardes, bienvenidos a... No, this is not Spanish. This is English.
You can say, you should still do that because you are
Yeah. Ajá. Yeah.
And then you say, I'm going to do it in English today.
Hoy el episodio va a ser algo muy especial porque voy a tener una conversación con unas amigas, pero este episodio no va a ser en español, va a ser en inglés, así que no se asusten, ¿ok? But welcome to the new episode in Cuéntamelo Todo. This conversation is going to be very, very special for me because I'm going to have a very special conversation with my friends, and each of us have something in common, which is, an immigration. Like we came to the United States in different phases, in different years, okay, in our life. We have something in common, which is, step out of our comfort zone, because when you leave a country, when we left our country, we left something behind. What we left is family, friends, traditions, comfort. To do what? To growth, to find here new opportunities. And now we are sharing this experience with all of you. And you know what to do now? Subscribe to this channel, because this conversation, I'm pretty sure it's going to leave you something amazing to you. It's going to inspire you, because we're going to know deeply each of these journeys, and I'm so inspired. And when I was driving to here, I was, thinking about it, and I was so deeply touched because I know it's going to be meaningful to you. So enjoy, subscribe, and don't forget to leave your comments here and like. So welcome to Cuéntamelo Todo, my beautiful ladies. And let me tell you this, you look so beautiful. I say, okay, just be yourself, be casual, and no. This is their casual. And look at me, I'm so I just wanted to, because I feel so comfortable with you, And we have conversations every day. We've met at the gym, and we are from different countries. For example, Karen, Nicaragua, Arthie,
Malaysia, Brazil,
India,
Saleema, and Aline, and me, Kendys, I'm from Venezuela. So yes, we're so different, but we share something in common, which is we came to the United States. So I'm going to start with this question. What motivate you to leave the country, and what was the harder thing you faced in the first year? Because I know the first year takes adaptation, we need to adapt, not only to perhaps in my part the new language, I know you had the English perhaps when you came here because you speak English in India and Malaysia too, right? But no, Karen is Spanish, and Aline, for example, the Portuguese, just learning Spanish, and she understands. But I want to start with that journey, the first year. I want you to go back and think about that, and tell me what was the harder part. Let's start with Karen, or
For me, the first year I cried every single day because I came from private school where there was only girls in my school. And so I ended up starting high school with boys and girls. And high school is not a nice place to be when you first come to the country. And so for me, I cried every day and I asked my mom, I want to go back home. But the reason why we came to America was because my brother was going to be sent to the military. It was a requirement. He was going to turn 18. And so that was the biggest reason. But my adjustment was being in a school with boys that I never had that experience.
no, and also because you were in a private school, and I know public schools are like, and you know what? I had a conversation with Carolina from Nicaragua, which is the last episode that I post here. And she mentioned the same thing. It was wild for her. Actually, they were living in Dallas, and the community it wasn't like that nice. So her mom moved. They moved to Plano, so at least to change a little bit the school because it was wild. And I mean, I don't want to go there. But what was the harder? That was the harder thing for you.
It was hard for me, yes. I cried.
Adaptation to and you had the
completely.
English, right?
No,
No?
zero. I was in ESL classes. So then people would come and speak English to me. I didn't understand anything at all. My classes weren't English and Spanish. I mean, they were teaching us English because I didn't know any English. But then you have people come and speak to you in English and actually inappropriate. I mean, like it was just crazy. And there were also gangs members in my high school. I went to Carrollton. Gang members, people that like cholos. What? It was like, yeah. So it was like, then they start flirting with you in English, and they would throw a Spanish.
like that.
And it was like, I will go home, and I was like, Mommy, I don't want to go to school. And she's like, I really want to send you to private, but it's so expensive. And I said, that was the biggest thing for me. It took a long time for me to adjust, and I used to cry every single day. And then I started having friends, and I actually had some of those gay members being friends, and they became nice to me because I would
Just cried, and I got used to it. But it was a whole year of crying, and because you don't know, people will look at you and they speak, and you don't know what they're saying. And for me, that was the biggest thing, and it took a while for me to get used to it.
Wow.
I think I'm going to add to that because the similarity we both have is I also cried.
I think we all cry. I cry too.
That was my first experience. Like the first year, it was all about crying. Not because, I came here. Yeah, so in my case, I did move to the US when I was 18 years old all by myself for school. And I was leaving a much more exciting life, So just to give a comparison, I moved to East Lansing, Michigan from Kuala Lumpur, KL. So that's like moving from New York to like Paris, Texas. The culture difference is like the culture shock was the opposite. I came from a place where, nightlife never ends. There's always vibrance, fun, people around me, to a city where, nothing, like lights are turned off after 6 o'clock or something like that. A lot of retirees and old, like, old folk.
Yeah.
So a lot of loneliness, I have to say, because I also came from a culture where, yes, we spoke English, but it was not only English. Like Malaysia, and I could speak 3 languages, and we would, like when we speak, we would have 3 different languages in one sentence. So my brain, yes, my brains was never wired to like speak one language at a time. So when I moved here and when I was in my first day of class in college, I was so terrified to even like stand up and say my name because I was so conscious of my accent, if I was saying it right. And then the fact that like we come from a culture where nobody is really like pulled out individually, like it's a very groupism type of a culture. So being like pulled out and called out, and like to even like stand out and say that was like scary. So coupled with like scared, the feeling of being scared, the feeling of being lonely because obviously I did not really have any friends. Yeah, there was a lot of crying that happened the first year. So
Yeah, it doesn't sound like easy. But you came to live with that uncle, right? We have family.
yes,
You have
I
family
came to
here.
live with an uncle, a very distant uncle that we met. I mean, maybe 3 times in my life.
Okay.
Who also came from a very different culture, a very conservative culture, where girls had to cook. You come back home by 8 o'clock from parents who allowed me to like party at home. It was a very different.
I know. Is that sounds, yes.
Yeah.
So tell me, you, Saleema
Yes.
or Aline?
Yeah, for me, I came much later. I was already 33. And so it was a mixture of for love and strategy. We were getting married, and my husband is American. So I had lived in Germany before for 4 years and then back to Brazil. So it wasn't my first experience abroad. So for me, it was a little bit different. It came later, the difficulty, was the isolation, because I think the country here is very, like, people are very individualist. Like they
Oh,
live
okay,
in
yes.
these big houses and they drive everywhere. There is not like a lot of community. You need to be intentional here to build your community. It doesn't come natural like in Brazil.
I see.
So, but we decided to come here because of his job was here. He had just finished his MBA. I wanted to interrupt my career. I'm an attorney in Brazil to raise kids. I was at the age of wanting to get married and give a break on the.
That's nice.
Yeah. So it came responding a question. It came later. Was the isolation, not having family,
And go
the
through the
lack-
process by yourself, like
Yeah.
having your husband just
and
next to you,
kids.
and perhaps
I
he's.
got pregnant like soon, like 2 years, less than 2 years after. So raising the kids, not having the family around. In Brazil, like everybody raises the kids, the grandma,
Together.
the aunts.
It is similar to
Yeah.
your story too.
And it's just like it's very lonely, like you need
Very
to
lonely.
be intentional and make a play date. You need to force yourself. And for me, it was like wasn't natural to do that. I didn't like that system, So it took a little long for me to find my community at the gym.
And Saleema, what can you add
Yeah.
to that?
First of all, thank you so much for having us.
Thank
yeah.
you for
I know you
coming.
keep saying that we all inspire you. You're an inspiration. You're a self-made woman and you're so strong, and we all kind of got to know each other because of that. I think I'll answer your question, but each one of us have a trait that attracts each other to us, and that's how this community was built. And thank you for recognizing that and having us here. Okay, so I'm originally from India, but I grew up in the Middle East in Saudi Arabia, which is a completely different culture. So I did all
So
my
different, yes.
during the times when Saudi was very different from where it is right now. So I grew up and did all my schooling there. I came here like very similar to Aline, much later in life, probably 27, 28. I came here for work. For a consulting firm. I was engaged, so my fiance at that time, my husband now, he was here too. So that was really good. But this place, again, I came to Fort Worth. The first shock from getting off the airport was, why is anybody not walking right on the roads? Like, why is it so? Because being in Dubai, Saudi, in India, there is always somebody there outside. Like you look outside and there is always somebody or something, right? There's an animal on the floor, on the road too. But I think the key is
Not walking on the street.
exactly. So my goal coming here was really to make something on my own, right? Leave everything that comes and defines you as you grow up, right? You belong to a family, and I have wonderful parents and support system, but you have to be able to get out of the box and see, can you make it from scratch by yourself, right? And I think that is what is beautiful about this country too, right? There are choices. If you want to work hard and give it all, then you can. I mean, I'm not trying to make it saying that it is easy, it's not. But I think the first year was to say, okay, I left all the comfort behind. starting from scratch, what do? Like, I think I've told you the story before. We had a car and we bought it for like $1,500. It was a Nissan Altima blue car. And the side mirrors, the rear view mirrors outside would fall off, and we would put a tape on it, and we would be like, it's a story I tell my daughter now to say that is what it is. But and then you're trying to set up your apartment, you're trying to set up things and find your way
Yes.
through and figure out where your place is in this huge place where, like Aline said, nobody comes and says, how are you doing today? Nobody does that because it is so, the culture is so, like me, myself, and I.
Like their
kind of a
own,
culture, right? Like even now, right? After it's been 26 years I've been here. Even now, you have to be able to have that thing. So I think the biggest thing is you leave the comfort, you leave your familiarity. But I think the fact that even with all those things, right? I cried many times saying, I don't think this is a place I want to be. I want to go out. But I think there is no growing up so many places, all of us. I don't think there is any place that gives you the opportunities that you have, at least at that time, right? Like it kind of says, gives, if you are walking the path, if you're working hard, and that is what kept us for so long and brought us here. So, yeah.
That is an amazing story. And because I know you and I know like your professionalism and where you are right now, like a leader in a very good company and, a very huge organization. And you tell me that story of the car that is actually the side mirror was falling apart. It is amazing. What I see behind these stories is discipline. It is consistencies. It is, stepping out of that comfort zone and leaving behind friends and family and many cries and loneliness. So I'm glad I can hear these stories now, but I know you're in a better place right now. And through this conversation, I want to go to that. So what was your harder things in the first year? Like go through your emotions back on that time and tell me, what was it?
I think, biggest one for me was driving, right? I did not drive a lot back in Saudi or India. I mean, you couldn't even drive in Saudi at that time. Women couldn't drive. So driving was a very hard thing for me. I think it took me a year to be able to say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make myself find.
Wow.
And I came for work. I was in a consulting firm, so stayed very close to the office. So I never had, we all would go together in groups to the office. So I didn't have a need. But again, you have to break out and you have to keep reminding yourself on what the goal was for you to be here. So driving was very hard. Like I was so scared to drive on freeways, So I found this guy who was from, he was also an immigrant himself. So he was like, it's okay, you can do this. And he was teaching so many of the immigrant women who had come, teaching them how to drive. That was one thing. Second thing is, I think that, the ability to say that it's okay to fail. Right? Because coming from a household of, a lot is expected from you, right? Or maybe it's not that they expect from you, you put this on yourself, right? Like you want to be able to get there tomorrow, but you don't give yourself grace to say it's okay to fail because, what if I don't like this place? What if I want to go back? What if I can't do this, right? But to give yourself, it's okay. Take one day at a time.
Take one day at a time.
It is so, I think that was the hardest thing for me, being, having done well in school and gotten my engineering and all of that already later in life. When we come here later in life, you have gone through you're like, at this point, can I fail? Is it okay for me to say no and go back? So I think teaching yourself that it is okay, this is normal, everybody goes through this. It is okay to have bad days, and like I say, tough times never last, but tough people do. I am a very strong believer in that. And at that time, you're like, no, because I think when you say go back, when you go back, I don't know if I will have the 25 years of learnings I've had to be where I'm saying this, right? People listening to this would say, yeah, it's easy for her to say because, this is what it is. But I understand that, at that time, I didn't think like this. I didn't have this maturity. I didn't have this ability to say it's okay. And it was like one day at a time, 1 hour at a time sometimes, right? Like, when you cry, you're like, what do I do next? You don't know, right? So I think the hardest part was that to say, people go through this. It's okay to fail. And it's very hard to have that mentality when you're a type A person.
Cuando tienes un caso pendiente, el estrés por facturas no debería ser lo primero que enfrentas. Con Sun Funding, obtén un adelanto monetario mientras tu caso continúa. Desde vehículos, lesiones personales, mala práctica médica, te ayudamos a mantenerte estable sin importar cómo avance la demanda. No pagas si no ganas el caso. Aprobación rápida de 24 a 48 horas. Monto desde $5,000 hasta más de $250,000 con transparencia total y sin riesgos escondidos. No esperes más para cuidarte. Entra en sunfunding.com, aplica ahora y recupera el control.
You too. I know you very well.
I know.
Being in this
Yes.
country alone, it challenges you to do things different, to be better. You have to learn the language. You have to learn how to cope with the culture. You have to get completely out of what you know, what was familiar to you, and get discomfort. And that make you stronger.
Yeah.
That helps you
Mhm.
grow. And that helps you, what do you call this?
Balance.
No. It helps you, no. Oh my gosh.
Say it in Spanish. People are gonna.
No, but I can't even say it. It helps you
Balance.
no balance. It helps you get used to it.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
that's the-
Okay.
no,
Yeah.
familiarize with everything. It's like you have no choice.
You have no
Right?
choice.
You're
Yeah, you
already
become more
here.
adaptable for
Yes,
sure.
And
You
you
move to another
adapt.
country.
That's
Yes.
the word. You adapt. Why? Because you're already here. What are you going to do? You have to make the best of it. How do I learn the language? How do I get used to not
Driving.
people behind to me? How I'll get used to not walking in the streets for everything. Like I literally walked 20 blocks to go to school. And it was not just private school, it was a nun-school. I was going to be a nun. That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
No, I cannot believe it. I cannot.
And that's what I'm saying. So coming to a country where people are different,
Yeah.
you were pretty much raised by the nuns since you were in kindergarten.
Well, I
and then you come to a country where school is public and behaviors are different, and it's like you want to love on people, but it's really really hard, and you just adjust and you learn. And that's the beauty of this country, that there's different nationalities, different type of people, but being here helps you grow and adapt to.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, like resilience, growth, adaptation, and perhaps leaving behind a version of ourselves that is not the version of ourselves right now, because I mean we grow. And you mentioned something very important. It's like giving to yourself, like it's just take a day at a time, a day at a time.
Yeah, one day
Like
at a time.
one
Yeah,
day
yeah,
at a
yeah,
time,
yeah, yeah.
one day at a time, and that is so important. Like no goal for everything, just the first week, the first month. No, it's not gonna happen like that. Like for example, driving thing is what I experienced that part. So I knew how to drive, but go to the freeway. And also at the beginning when I came here, I just took the bus like for so many months because I didn't
Yeah.
have the driving license, right? So I said, why am I gonna take an Ubers if they're paying like $10 and then I'm gonna spend that in Uber, so it doesn't make sense to me. So
Yeah.
you know what I was doing? It's like I used to put my AirPods, or well, the ones that is the Bluetooth. I remember I bought that in 7-Eleven for I don't know $6, and then I put my phone and listening gratitude things like my gratitude. I'm just gonna enjoy my walk from my apartment to the stop, and then I'm gonna wait for the bus. And many days the bus just left me. And I remember one day it was raining so much and it was so cold. And I forgot my clothes, and I was putting my hands inside the jacket that a church gave me because it was cold. I didn't have the winter clothing, And I just wait there for 30 minutes and I was so cold. And when the bus came, I said, and I came to my job and I said, Laura, this is too much. I just start crying and I said, Oh my God, this is so hard. It was so hard because I came as an engineer and I wasn't used to that, you know? But I came just because I knew that my why was bigger than that.
I love that. I love that.
Which is to give to my son a
Yeah.
better future and opportunities for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I didn't know like to put my back so he can put, just
So that he
just
can
I'm
rise
gonna
up.
be your support.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's okay. It doesn't matter. I'm going through whatever it takes, but I know this is gonna be temporary because I knew my capabilities and I knew it. I just knew it. Just okay. I was a humble beginning,
Yes. And you've done it. You've done it.
and I've
You've
done
given-
it, and I'm so grateful. And I'm so
Yeah.
grateful to you too. So after that, after listening to all of you, I want to know now: did you see, like, do you look back? And I don't think so, but I want your answer. Is there a moment like you said, no, I would have done this different? Like, no, perhaps stay there. Like, is that a thought that have crossed your mind? Like doing different? Like perhaps staying or.
One thing I would add is yes, I would have done a few things differently. One thing would be to be more present and not be so worried about.
I
future is
love
going to be.
that.
It is that constant worry of like, oh my God, if I don't this, what is going to happen? The what if, the what if, the what if, and the planning for the future that you forget what the luxuries you have like right now. And sometimes, like, if I think about it, like when I was in like 20 years old, it was, all about, am I going to make it in this country? I'm here by myself. And it was so important for me because I was the first daughter that stepped out from Malaysia. I had my younger sister as well. And I don't know if like the elders in the family feel this as well, but there's always that extra sense of like responsibility that you are like holding a flag for the family. You gotta like set an example, especially when
Yes.
you've got like siblings.
Yeah.
So I kind of took that upon myself to like make my family proud. So it was a lot of anxiety and hoping that things work out and working hard for it. But I just wished maybe I would just let loose and enjoy what that moment in life gave me, which was a lot of freedom when you're single, which was a lot of like, college moments that I feel I did not capitalize on. So yeah, and now when I say that, I think it's a reminder even now for myself.
Yes.
To like
Yes.
stop worrying about what the
Oh my God, I
Yes.
always tell you that sometimes. Stop worrying.
and just like shut up and be grateful and enjoy with what you already have
Yeah.
right now. So I
Yeah.
think it's a reminder at every stage of our life.
I know.
But to be more conscious about it as well.
Yeah, and that is perhaps a habit that for us is hard to break. We need to remind ourselves every day the gratitude and what we have.
Yeah.
So it's that consistency. It's a habit. Like when you wake up, just be grateful for what you have. So
We're able to wake up.
Yeah, right. That's the first thing, right? Yeah. I think that, if I go back and look at it and what would I have changed, I don't think it is a change, like Arti said. It's more like, but it is it's so easy to say. People going through the journey, you don't realize it. But I wish I had actually put my foot forward and looked for this kind of a community then as well, right? I think because you're so caught up in the day to day of trying to figure out and trying to make somebody else proud or whatever our whys were of coming, it could be very different, that you don't kind of say, I need to find people not just like me, but who are going through the same thing as me. There is a difference in that, right? I think when you come here,
Yes.
you are looking for people just like you, right? That's called the assimilation that everybody talks about. You're like, I don't want to assimilate because I want to look at people just like me because that's my comfort, which is great. Don't get me wrong. You have to have that too. But in order to be able to get that understanding, because the people who are exactly like you are telling you exactly what you are going through, like oh my God, what is going to happen, right? But also build a community that is as diverse as this to say, okay, because you don't have time, but I think you have to make time. I wish I had this kind of a community at that time who would say, sit me down and say, it is okay. It's okay if you don't make it. You know, people are there, you know, and you don't realize how much you have. Right? I think I wish I had a group of women specifically at that time around me who have done what you guys have done, and you know, we all have different circles of people who are different, right? You guys are my morning cup of coffee, right? Like if I don't make it to the gym in the morning, the whole day is like, I'm like, oh, right? But so you're my cup of coffee in my morning, right?
Yeah.
And I have other group of people during the day who are also my different things. So I wish I had found and made a conscious effort to build that support system around me, that were my cup of coffee. Imagine what that could do to people. So you know, like I think that is very, very important. I would have definitely done that different. I had a lot of people, don't get me wrong, but to be able to, you know, have this kind of a conversation with somebody,
That is amazing.
or
to
somebody
say.
who's gone through it. Like I didn't watch these kind of podcasts or you know TV or look to say, oh my God, like they went through this and they've done it well. I
That's
think
true.
that does it. That's why you're amazing. What you're doing is amazing. This is amazing because anybody who's going through this watches this and say, you know what, I can do this.
I feel that way, but
They put it in a different perspective for me. So now I'm not going to sit at home, not go work out or go take a walk, and I'm going to find girls or find someone that can encourage me, motivate me, that can hold me accountable and not sit, because that's what happens when we come from a different country. We isolate. We think we're being comfortable in our old selves, and so we try not to open up because we don't trust, we don't know who people are, especially when the culture is completely different to what you used to. And so that is one of the things that people out there, if you're going through it, it's something that you should think about. Today is going to be different. Today I'm going to get out of my comfort zone. I want to be better. I want to do things different. Despite that I don't feel that person likes me, I'm going to go say hi.
That's cute.
But see, that's the thing. You always talking to people.
Uh-huh.
You want to know until you try. I have that. Not everybody that I talk to always say hi back. There's been times that I'm like, hi. Okay. And I just go on. But you will not know until you try. You know?
Yeah, that's true. You
But
know,
you're amazing at that.
Yes.
You're amazing at that.
you know what? This channel
But it
is
takes discipline.
yes, it is
It
discipline.
takes failures. To
Well,
get-
even though you said like you know, like we find that association. We went when I came here, I just went to a different direction. I said I want to what I need to do is to improve my English first. So I went directly to the Americans. Like I want to learn this. I don't yes. Just I want to join a company. Like I
practice.
just and also I create this channel a year after I came here because I wanted to listen. I wanted to sit down with immigrants like me. Oh, tell me how you do it because I need to know. I was crying for 3 months in a row. So I needed to hear those stories to inspire myself.
And is because speaking about how important a community is, right? So when I first moved here, yes, it was college, and then I left college, and then I moved to like 5 different cities all by myself. Wow. No spouse, no friends. I only had to go because either job called me or a university called me. So going to every city from scratch meant you had to like build relationships from scratch. So I think maybe that is why at a very young age and without any family, you need to make friends as your family, right? You don't have anybody else to
You're
depend
like
on.
family to me, by the way.
Yeah, I mean,
Aw.
exactly. So building that community had to happen. If not, think about it, like even just moving from one apartment to another apartment. I couldn't do it all by myself. I needed those friends. Like even when days,
That is
exactly. Like when you're like this young person, can't even like figure out where the driving license, office is, trying to figure out everything by yourself. you don't have your family. Yeah, you can call and cry to your mom, but there's only so much you can do from
Yeah,
20
that's
miles
true.
away.
I,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
what also like what Aline said, right? And you came here more like with having kids immediately. That put so much of pressure on
Yes,
it. How did
Aline.
you?
Yeah, it was like um, I made the choice to come here, right?
Uh-huh.
It was a conscious choice. It wasn't just moving a country. It was changing who I was from a professional to like I want to be a stay-at-home mom. So it was these two transitions: the location and all my like
Your
Personality.
style,
my whole
everything.
personality.
Yeah.
And responding a question, I don't think I would have done anything different. It was a choice. It was hard. Wasn't easy. It was harder than
No.
I had planned.
Yes.
But it made me become who I am today. Obviously, it's easier to say that with the knowledge and experiences that I have right now, I would have done something better
Exactly.
there. But I had to go through the difficulties to become who I am now.
Yeah.
What is the proudest things? Like when you think, okay, this is the I'm so proud that I did this. Like after all this year, well, what is that you accomplish?
For me, was to make that choice against what
Uh-huh.
society expects
Your
from
family
you.
is beautiful.
And it's just like I know that people praise and admire professional success,
Uh-huh.
and I wanted to work on this, being humble and said who I am. I like what I want when like am I doing this to prove to my family or to the society that I can, or this is what I want for my life.
Yeah.
And so to make that choice, I worked on being humble, of being like treated different, because until they know you better, they just think, oh, she's a stay-at-home mom, an immigrant. She married an
No.
American just because to have a better life, something like that.
Yes.
And I learned how to just like keep my cool, because I don't need to prove myself to anybody. I know
Love
who I
that.
am.
No,
I'll
and
work
you're
on that.
our doctor. You're the one that gives us our
No, but like
supplements.
I am happy with what I feel.
Yes,
My
yes.
kids and
And no,
Yeah.
and
And
I need to say something. So you are a great mom.
thank you.
Honestly,
Yes.
I was saying that to my last episode too. I think I mentioned you. So because well, I mentioned in general a few moms that I know close, like you are a mom that is raising kids in the way I believe we should, and you are an amazing mom too because Nuha is amazing. Like like I want to see our youth, our the next generations like that, and that is an amazing role because you are creating
yeah.
persons.
Eleni, you're my inspiration.
You're our
not,
inspiration.
not just about lifting weights, but I think and how much you lift, but I think I love what I love about you, and I think it's for all of us is, I mean, and at least for me, when I look at you and I see you, and what you said is exactly that. It is so difficult not to listen to that voice of nagging voice inside our heads, right? To say, don't do this because somebody says this or somebody's doing this. To be able to say, hey, this is what it is. There is noise around me. There are different variables that are going to talk, say things, and all of that. But this is what I want, I believe, and this is what is right for me. And to say, leave the noise behind and keep that calm and grace and be the person, be very clear on what your why is. It takes
Courage.
courage,
It takes
and
courage.
you are such an inspiration, and I love you for that.
Yeah, I love you. I love all of you for many things. But what also I want to close with this: the friendship and the different cultures that we have, right? But what this differentiation or
Differentiation. We found it. We got it.
differentiation of all of us, like how can we bring together um, this crew, this community, besides like we are so different, in so many ways. Of course, we share some similarities, but what this community have brought to you?
I think it's exactly that. It's like we admire each other for different reasons, and we want to learn something from each other. We have that growth mindset. I think we all have it, and that I think that's what makes us work very well as a group.
And I think fitness, right? Like that's
Yeah.
what that's where we
Yes.
met.
That was
First
not
thing,
easy.
acceptance.
Then we admire each other. We want to learn from each other. We love to eat. So it's all these little things. But the biggest one, I think, is acceptance.
Yes.
Because if you're in a group or setting of ladies, especially ladies, remember, hormones and emotional, and you see somebody and you accept the person and you love them for who they are, that makes a difference. But if you come to a group setting of ladies and then you say, oh, I don't know," so it changes completely. But that's the first thing you gotta have in a group
Yeah.
of ladies, acceptance.
Absolutely. I think, I say this to my husband very often, is that this group, the comfort that comes in this group, we are from different walks of lives. We are going through different journeys in our lives. We are at different, what do you call it, age groups of our lives. And what we have as a family, right? We have every possible combination, not just within the five of us, the extended groups of people that we are with and who form our community as well. But it is so hard, Karen said, to find. It's not. I'm not trying to put a group of ladies down, but we all are going through different. When we go through different journeys, we are going through different hormones, different phases, different things. So things definitely start coming in different ways. I love the fact that there is no judgment here.
Whatsoever.
And I tell this to people I know, and I have a great group of other friends as well. I feel comfortable that no matter what happens, no matter what, there is no sense of jealousy, envy, judgment, anger. If somebody doesn't turn up for one day, like, hey, are you okay? What's happened, right? To have that, I feel it is so important that you enter this phase, this space with you. I leave behind who I am. It's very similar, like how we left behind our so many people and came for a different reason.
Yes.
I feel like I'm able to shed one skin of the things that we are going through. What is at home? What is at work? What is happening around? We come in and we are like, we have a common thing to say, hey, it was such a bad thing. Although and find each other and accept each other with no judgment. And it's not very easy to find. So I think that is what this group is for me. That there is always like, hey, there is group chat, but there's also side chats, and we check in on each other separately, together, and on top of each other. It's like, there is no space or no personal space sometimes. But
There's no
that's-
shame. Like Lydia, she will tell you what she thinks, and we
Yeah.
love her. And we
Yeah, Lydia didn't come.
Yeah. Don't eat that cake. Okay. I won't eat that
That's
cake,
like Aline.
Aline. Yeah. Put more weights on there. Or like that,
more weight.
like Lydia will go like, your form is not good. Put your butt down as you lift this, right?
Oh, yeah.
okay, let me make
That's why I said, like, there is no judgment. That you know that if somebody is telling you something, yes, it is coming from a good place.
Yeah, no, and the way we mess each other, like it's a,
Yeah, I'm like, Candace, eat your food.
your food. Or one of these days we were having the class, and I asked Chase, are we resting? No, we're not resting. Well, they're resting. And we're talking.
Yeah. Yeah. And when Candice and I work together alone, sometimes I have to tell her, focus, don't be on your phone. And I get like, focus, like, go slow. Why are you going so fast? You want abs, go slow. And she's like, okay, whatever.
Okay, yes. Oh, no, it's amazing. You guys are amazing. I have enjoyed every part of our journey together. And for all the years that are coming, it's going to be great too. It's going to be amazing to be the spectator of your growth, because perhaps in 5 years, 10 years, we're not going to be at the same place, of course, right? I hope no.
Or maybe, like, I think like Aline said, I love her answer of like, I won't change anything because we all have to go through whatever difficulties we are going through, or anybody who's watching this is going through. You have to go through this to be uncomfortable, to sit in that uncomfortable position or place, to get out, and you look back and say, oh my God,
Yes.
so I think it is important. It builds who we are. Whether, you
Yes.
don't have to be different in 5 years, and, just accept the fact that where you are and move on.
Essence. Well, thank you so much for being here for this
Thank you.
conversation. I
Thank you.
enjoy every part of it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and you, thank you too to stay at the end of this conversation. And I hope you enjoyed it too. Like this is this conversation is bringing like a very conscious journey, like something that has shaped our life right now. Like we are who we are because of that journey. So, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let's say goodbye to this camera. Mwah! Many kisses to you. Gracias por quedarte. Te voy a poner aquí algunos subtítulos para que puedas verlo y de verdad que lo disfrutes, porque yo creo que este episodio se merece subtitles. This episode deserves a Spanish subtitle because it's so beautiful that I want my Spanish community to listen to this too. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.